Jim Harbaugh and the company clinched their spot in the playoffs by winning their first Big Ten title game and their first outright conference crown since 2003. The Wolverines are just 2 wins away from their first national title in 24 years. Now, earlier today, Michigan players spoke at Media Day, and it's new on SportsCenter.
I know that was always a goal of ours, to beat Ohio State, to win a Big Ten championship. But, when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the meat and potatoes, when you're in the meat and potatoes of everything, it's hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel, because it was dark there for a while now. And it was just us grinding and getting after it, not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing the outcome. I think that's what makes us so special is the way that we worked when we didn't win a single game. That's when I knew this team was special.
That sure really begins from, fall camp and spring ball, when we knew that a lot of people would be counting us out. I saw somewhere the 0.05% chance of making the college football playoff, anything like that. A lot of people didn't believe us this year, so that kind of drove us this whole season, and it's going to continue to drive us. We're not done yet.
We know they got a good front seven, but we got a good O-line, So it's going to be a fun physical game, and I like them type of games.
Especially their front and their box is, very talented. But I think, the heart and soul of our offense is our O-line. And I think if anyone's in the country is going to block them, it's going to be our dudes. So, I think we size up well to them. And I think, obviously it'll be a good challenge, but, we're looking forward to it.
SportsCenter on the Road is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Now, Marty Smith is all things Michigan leading up to Friday in paradise, no less. So for so many years, the question was, could Jim Harbaugh lead this program to the playoff? Now that he's done that, what are his players saying about the impact he's had on them?
Victoria, good afternoon. Look, I've been around the world with the Michigan Wolverines. I've been on spring break trips with this program to Paris and to Rome. I've seen how the players react and respond to Jim Harbaugh's leadership and tutelage. This isn't anything new. They just happened to win this year. They beat Ohio State. They won the Big Ten, and they're here in Miami with an opportunity to win a playoff game. So the narrative has shifted. But that's nothing new. Now, I will say this, though. If you talk to this year's team, they will tell you that there has been an evolution in Jim Harbaugh, not only as coach, but as man.
I'm so proud of Coach Harbaugh and the way he's adapted, the way he's just changed as a person, as a coach. Throughout his years of me being here, he's a great coach, and he does a lot of great things. And just to see how far he's came, how far this team has came in the position we are now, I couldn't be more proud of our head guy leading the way.
You see Aiden Hutchinson sitting there with Josh Ross. I spoke with Aiden before Christmas, sat down with him in Ann Arbor, and he said after last year's disappointing 2-4 season, the rumors were swirling that Harbaugh's future at Michigan may be short. They read that on social media. The players saw it. He said, we hated to see that he had to deal with that, but it makes winning the Big Ten, beating Ohio State, and being here so much more special. And then he kind of grinned, Victoria, and he said, maybe that's something only a Harbaugh can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just, realizing quiet the noise, show up, and prove them wrong. Michigan is looking to win 13 games in a season for the first time in program history. As always, thank you, Marty.
Yeah, keep your Miami weather. We'll take Bristol, Connecticut, thank you very much. On the other sidelines will be the Georgia Bulldogs. They were a top 5 team in the preseason, but rose to #1 early in October for their first in-season ranking at the top since 1982. They won their first 12 games by an average of nearly 34 points a game. Behind that ranking was an absolutely dominant defense anchored by Jordan Davis. Georgia was the first FBS school in over 40 years to hold their opponents to 17 points or fewer over their first 12 games. But the Bulldogs enter the playoff with a bitter taste in their mouths after losing to Alabama in the SEC title game. Georgia allowed more points in that game than it had in any single month of the season. Earlier today, Georgia spoke about facing Michigan star defensive players new on SportsCenter.
Huge challenge for our offensive line.
You know, our offensive line embraces challenges like this. They want these opportunities. It's what you come to college to go play against is the best in the country.
Two great, very talented players. You know, they present different matchups. Each of them are very good at different things, but both very talented players. I'm very excited for the matchup. Obviously heard both of their names pretty much for about a month now, so I'm excited to, you know, be able to spot the ball and go play.
Those are two great players. For the most part, the guys that you named, we've all had to go through something in life to where we had to do opposite of what other people said that or thought that we could do. So we just have to go out and prove whatever they're saying wrong and just do our best.
For the Georgia side of the equation, now we welcome in the great Holly Rowe. Holly, a big question still remains at the quarterback position for Georgia. The season started with JT Daniels under center, but it's been the Stetson Bennett show ever since. How is head coach Kirby Smart approaching his QB situation heading into this game?
Well, I think a lot of those questions arose after the performance of Stetson Bennett in the SEC championship game when he had 2 crucial interceptions in the loss to Alabama. But Kirby Smart's made it very clear in his media appearance today who their starting quarterback will be in this game.
In terms of quarterback, you know, Stetson's our starting quarterback. So, again, the JT situation will be a matter of, you know, is the situation right? And also, is he healthy enough?
So Stetson Bennett has been doubted at every level his entire life. Wasn't big enough, wasn't strong enough, wasn't good enough. And all he's done is prove people wrong. He actually said that he doesn't have social media. He doesn't hear all of the comments, so he doesn't wallow in these questions about his performance in that game. He's just focusing on getting better for this moment. And I can tell you all of the guys around him do believe in him. One other quick note that is intriguing and what has led to some of these questions, JT Daniels and George Pickens did arrive Monday down here because they had been in COVID protocols. JT Daniels and George Pickens had some really great chemistry at the end of last season. 323 yards, 23 receptions between the duo, so it's maybe a little hidden weapon. Not sure if we'll see it or not.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.